Well, here we are again, back in Mittenrahm, at the eastern edge of the Morel. I think I was originally planning to take in most of this swamp, but there's a lot of it. And there may be things I do with it, but I'm drawing a line on where the actual Morel is itself. So this is just going to be a separate region. So this guy is obviously done now. I'm fairly happy with him. He came out a lot easier than I thought he was going to. This leg was a bit of a struggle because I decided, well, it just didn't make any sense to have both legs side by side, give a little bit more character to his pose. And this arm has fallen off, although I believe it's just a case of him picking it back up and putting it back in place. It's not permanent damage, so to speak. I'm planting these mangrove trees, but I'm not happy with the roots, which is why I've gone through and replaced parts of the root system with more actual mangrove wood. I haven't done this one obviously, but you know, just it doesn't feel solid enough like this. And this is partly my fault. I put a stack of dirt here before putting the actual seed thing in place, so they've grown a lot taller than they would normally. This is to avoid ones like this where it would have spawned down here and only been this high, and it's not really what I want. But you know, I don't want to go down the route of just doing a mass of custom mangrove trees. So kind of reaching a compromise essentially. I've continued tweaking these. I've made a couple of them longer to do a curve rather than the straight 45-degree angle, which I felt was too much. And then from the ground, they were just looking I don't know. From the ground and from a distance, it just looks weird the way that they go up. So I think I was going to try something slightly shallower, it's just steps of 2, but I don't think that was working very well. Yeah, I don't think I'll be using this again. If I do, I'm going to have to find another way to do it. So I think this is entirely new work. Just kind of shaking things up a bit. Although these haven't gone well, this is the extent of where I intended to put these things. So this has transitioned to a different mushroom type. The trees have had a lot less work done. I've just gone through and some of the taller ones have had their trunks adjusted slightly, and then some of them haven't been touched at all. And it's fairly straightforward. I put some of this shaping of the terrain to make it a lot more uneven rather. But I didn't want it to go all the way through this part of the swamp. I'm trying to transition back to effectively just an ordinary looking swamp. Which, you know, I think kind of worked. But let me get to this, which I'm not sure if these had grown on the last stream. They may have done. I haven't changed them, although I do feel like they look a little naked with just a single mass of leaves. But, you know, the ground is where everything has been done. Starting with this log cabin, you know, because it's shaped like a log. Oh, yeah, this guy is Brenner. There are 2 Brenners now because one was killed. I spawned another one, and then a few days later thought the second one was dead. So I spawned a 3rd one after a fairly thorough search of the forest, only to just simply find him wandering around over here, so there are now 2 of them. I don't know where the second one's gone to. But what you're looking at here is this is the remains of a great tree that fell down. This is part of it, and then here's the base. I don't know why it fell down, possibly age. It's a very old piece of forest. But as you can see, I went through putting in rocks and bushes and mushrooms spawning flowers, berries, and adding a whole bunch of foxes who have spread out all over the place and mostly not within the forest anymore, which is exactly what happened to all of the frogs that I spawned in the forest over there. It's cute. I like it. I like that. It's nice. But, you know, little bits and pieces. I thought it came together quite well, because, I mean, basically a terrain modification. This is an extreme hills biome. That's really all I focused on. I haven't tried to turn it into a settlement or anything. These are obviously the underground tunnels that I threatened before. Turned out, despite the way that this looks, these are actually on the same height. So the insides turned out to be a lot less elaborate than I thought they were going to be. We have one exit here, which has a gap that I just spotted. And the main way in. And these 2 houses went up afterwards, and this farmland, which is pretty much what I had planned. My only question now is, I don't think I'm going to use this, and I will probably put a height extension, something like that, to block off this properly so that it's less obvious as a way through. Done some modification of the river as well. Not this bit up here. Put this crack through this side just because. Opened this up, filled this in with water. This had to be cut through again because it was so cramped. Modified one of the trees so I didn't actually have to knock it all down. And oh yeah, there's a way through here as well. And the only other thing I've been really tweaking over the last 2 weeks is the claws. The claws of Dareth. I'm not sure whether this is supposed to be an actual thing trapped under the ground. I don't think really that's the way that I was intending it. I think it's just meant to be interesting rock formations that have been given a name. There's probably a story about them being a stone golem, but the original intention was, I think, a volcano that exploded a long time ago. Just tried to hint at this. I think I mentioned this previous video. Probably do something with this to make it look a little nicer. But yeah, something along those lines anyway. But that's everything. There's a lot of fiddling involved. I put some of these trees up as well recently, yesterday and the day before. Just putting in the road. The idea is that the road is not used anymore. This is a deal that the Grey Knights made with the witches of the Morel to stop using the Morel as a through road. goes off, supposed to go off in this direction as well. It cuts through here. This is where I marked the original road going this way. I have a build that's in creative on a flat world that was done for something else that I'm thinking about porting in here. Maybe go somewhere like this. I was thinking here, still within the swamp technically, but I'm not so sure about that because it'll get in the way of the road. But yeah, the original idea was that I would put a road in that went all the way north, so there's a bypass. But yeah, the Grey Knights are going to have agreed not to use it anymore in exchange for the bridge, making the bridge connection over here, or keeping it anyway, so that they can get across to the northwest over there. That's going to be next week's work. But that's what I've been up to. There's still some tidying up to do. This thing still needs an interior, but which I'm actually going to plan on doing today. See how that goes. This could still be doing with finished. Needs some work here to complete it. But yeah, other than that, so on that note, I shall say adieu.